Hello everybody! Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of jump into it. I'm not sure how many people are gonna jump on this or what the audience is gonna look like, but today I wanted to kind of focus on the topic of Seattle housing and what that looks like and all that jazz. So I'm just gonna jump into it. And if you have questions, I can answer those too. But I wrote down like a little list of things I for sure want to go to and talk about because I feel like they are important. So let me find that. I'm glad I didn't do that before I started this. Um, but can somebody like in the comments let me know if they can hear me, by the way? Hopefully they can. This is the first time I've ever gone live on my cell phone. So like I'm on my iPhone right now and my computer crashed. That's why I've had a lack of videos. So I'm trying this on my yay. Thank you very much for letting me know. Okay, let me find this page of notes that I took that I thought, okay, cool. All right, so Frankie is also here and I'm really scared he's gonna knock some stuff over. Frank, hang on. Frankie, I need you not to be here right now. You can say hi though, say hi to everybody. Oh, your lip is stuck. Okay. Okay guys, so for this video, I will answer questions, but I kind of just want to go through a list of my favorite neighborhoods, and then I want to kind of go into like the best way to find housing because housing in Seattle is a bitch. If you've been looking for housing, you know this, and it's also crazy expensive. So I kind of just want to go into how I found my place and give you guys some pointers. I have about a half hour, so I'm gonna get into it. Okay, so grab a pen and paper or take notes because I feel like I'm going to give you guys a lot of information and I'm not positive that I'm going to keep this video live like on my channel because I feel like whoever's here deserves the information and yeah, I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So, okay. So, neighborhood number one I want to talk about is Capitol Hill. If you've ever been to Seattle or you know anything about it, Capitol Hill's huge. It's a big deal. The zip code for this is going to be 98102, and I'm going to talk about why I'm giving you guys the zip codes after I talk about the neighborhoods. So make sure you write them down or take notes because I feel like it'll be beneficial to you guys. So Capitol Hill 98102. It's loud. Okay, Capitol Hill's loud. It's fun. It's very LGBT friendly. Like some of the streets are rainbow. You might have seen that like on pictures on Instagram. They have great music, they have great food, they have great bars. If people are having like bachelor parties or whatever, that's where they go. Like Capitol Hill is the fun place to be. And yeah, it's not for somebody who's looking to settle down or anything, but it is pretty pricey. So keep that in mind. I mean, all these places are pricey, but Capitol Hill is probably the most like sought after place. Like people want to live in Capitol Hill. Okay, so moving on, after Capitol Hill, I have Central District, which I feel like is it's a neighborhood that people overlook and they don't see, but it's an amazing place to be. The zip code for that is 98122. So Central District is awesome because you're right in the middle of everything essentially, and it's quieter, but you're so close to Capitol Hill that you literally can walk to it. Um, I guess it's kind of, I don't know if Central is with First Hill, but they're very similar, very close. It's quieter, but it's still fun, and you can walk to the bars or walk to restaurants, whatever. I really like Capital or Central District because it's family friendly. It seems a little bit safer. I know years and years back they had a lot of issues with gangs and shootings, but they have totally done a 180 and it's safe, it's fun, and it's a great place to live. So 98122 is going to be the zip code for Central District. Okay, next neighborhood, and I guess I should have said this before I even started listing off neighborhoods. Seattle is not um it's not a place you move to. When you move to Seattle, you're moving to neighborhoods, right? Like you're not just moving to Seattle, Washington. You're moving to a specific neighborhood within Seattle, excuse me. And that is why I feel like people get very confused, right? You move to a new place and you're like, well, where do I live? Because let me tell you, it makes the biggest difference. If you choose a place in Seattle and you hate it, it's totally going to turn you off to living in Seattle and wanting to be here. So, in my opinion, it's so important to find a good place to live because if you hate the place you live, you're gonna hate Seattle and you're gonna have a bad experience with it. So all these are neighborhoods, but they're in Seattle. Okay, moving on. So next neighborhood is Montlake. The zip code for that is 98102, which is the same as Capitol Hill. They're essentially like in the same area, but they're a little bit further apart from each other, but they're like kind of like the same thing. But they're not, because Montlake is magical. Like, it's beautiful. It reminds me of like Thanksgiving, like all year round, or like Harry Potter. It's magical, it's bricks, it's cute, but it's kind of hard to find a place there because not a lot of people rent there. Most of the people that live there actually own the homes. And I do have a couple friends that do live there, but it's a little harder to find places there, but it's quiet. It's more of like an older crowd that lives there, and it's really beautiful. So if you see a place available and you're like, and it's in Montlake, like I would say jump on it. It's right next to the UW, and it's so nice. It's so clean. It's safe, and it's just really freaking cute. Like I love Montlake. It's just kind of tricky to find a place. Okay, next neighborhood is Queen Anne. So Queen Anne, zip code is 98109, and I believe this is like where the Space Needle is. I don't know if it's there, like South Lake Union, but like pretty close to Queen Anne. If it's not in there, I don't remember. But it's also where Grey's Anatomy is supposed to take place. I feel like I've talked about this before. Queen Anne is hilly. It's safe. It has a really cute downtown, but it's a little outside of the city. So technically, yes, it's in the city, but I feel like sometimes it's such a bitch to get to. Like, it's not just a thing, it's not just a place where you can jump on the highway and get to it. I feel like you have to go through all these back roads or cut through the city to get to Queen Anne, which can definitely be a bitch sometimes. But it's a really cute place to be. I think it's a little bit cheaper than Cap Hill, if you can find a place, and the downtown's so freaking cute. Okay, next. So next neighborhood is going to be South Lake Union, and zip code for that is 98109. That's 98109. Okay, so South Lake Union, what is it? South Lake Union is where all the Amazonians live. It's downtown, it's by the Space Needle, it's busy, it's loud, it's expensive as hell to live there, but it's nice. If you work at Amazon, a lot of people that work on Amazon at Amazon live there. It's downtown. I mean, it's in the middle of Seattle. It's a good place to be, but it is really expensive. And I feel like all the apartments over there, because there are no homes, they are like brand new. So you're paying for the cost of not only your surroundings, but you're paying for the cost of like a brand new spanking apartment that's beautiful and gorgeous. So I mean, if you can afford to live in South Lake Union, like props to you, that'd be great. So yeah. Okay. Next neighborhood is going to be Fremont and Ballard, and I guess we could kind of like lump Green Lake into this. Zip code is 98103. Okay, here's my issue with Fremont and Ballard and Green Lake. And I wanted to include these because a lot of people love these areas. I love these areas, but they are not fun to get to. Like, I don't want to, when I'm in Ballard or Fremont, I don't want to go to the city. I don't want to go to Cap Hill or hang out with people. I want to just stay there because it feels like it's so out of the way, even though it's in the city. And that's kind of hard to explain unless you're here. Like, I feel like I'm being a whiny bitch about that, but with the people that I know that live in Ballard or Fremont, like, they don't really come to the city, like Capitol Hill or South Lake Union. They don't come over here that much because it's annoying to get to. Like, it's kind of like Queen Anne, where like it's not nearly, it's worse than Queen Anne, I should say, but it feels like it takes a stupid amount of time for how close it is to get there. Um, when Gus and I were trying to find a place, I was like, I really want to live in Fremont. Can we live in Fremont? And let me just tell you, my commute from Fremont to Bellevue would be such a bitch if we were to live in Fremont. I seriously probably would have tacked on another 20 minutes to my commute. So I love Fremont and I love Ballard, and they have really cute downtowns. Ballard is very nautical and like lots of boats and ships, but it's just not the most convenient place to live. but we do have a really really good, in my opinion, transportation system. A lot of people Gus work with, a lot of people that Gus works with, they live in Ballard, or they live, I know a couple people that live in Fremont, and they commute to the city, and it's not bad, you guys. It really depends where you're working. Like if you're working downtown and you live in Ballard or whatever, like it's not a big deal. um, but I, for example, I work in Bellevue, so it would be not fun if I lived in Fremont or Ballard and commuted to Bellevue. It just wouldn't be good. So that's that. But that's that group of neighborhoods. And my last neighborhood I kind of want to talk about is Bellevue. And first of all, Bellevue is not technically Seattle. It is King County, but it's a little outside of Seattle. And I want to just bring up Bellevue because it's a little bit cheaper to rent there than it is in Seattle. And the thing is, if you're working in Seattle and you're living in Bellevue, the commute's not going to be that bad. I remember when I was looking for places on Craigslist or even Zillow or Hot Pads, I saw like Renton and Tukwila and Linwood, and I'm like, well, these places are only 30 miles away. It should take me like 30 minutes to get there, and that's just not the case. But with Bellevue, it's not that long of a commute. I mean, it can be, but like it's a safe place to live. It's a little bit cheaper, and with that being said, it's just not, it's going to be the best commute if you're not going to live in the city, if that makes sense. Hopefully that made sense. I know that was kind of like twisty and wordy, but anyways, Bellevue is super ritzy, so the people that live there are really like high class people. They have a lot of money, but you get more bang for your buck for an apartment that you're getting there, which is nice. It's super clean. Like I'm not joking when I say like not the government, the authority in Bellevue, they like kick homeless people out because they want to keep it clean. They want to keep their reputation and all that stuff. So like it is a clean area, and it's close to Seattle. I mean, I like Seattle. I don't want to live in Bellevue, but it's a nice area. And if you're thinking of living like outside of the city, Bellevue's, in my opinion, your best bet. Let me look at the questions if there are any and see. Sorry, I just put my finger up there. Okay. Ooh, we have a ton. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yay, you guys can hear me. Okay, this is perfect timing. I'm moving to Seattle in August. That's so exciting, Sophie. Congratulations. It's a huge, huge move. I love Capitol Hill, and it's so nice and friendly. I hang there every day. I love Cap Hill too, like, especially in the summer, you guys. Like, they got bars with patios, they have all this stuff, and it's so much fun. Okay. So happy to see this live. I'm moving to Seattle in a month, and I'm currently apartment hunting. Yay! Okay, well, I'm gonna go through a couple tips in a little bit, so hopefully that can help you, because apartment hunting can be a bitch. I love um I love housing way better than apartments or condos. Me too, and houses can be hard to find. Would moving to Washington be a good idea with 2+ friends? Absolutely. The more the merrier. Um, I always wish that Gus and I had like one more friend, because it would be so much cheaper for like a much bigger, nicer place. So if you have 3 people, like in my opinion, that's like the dream number to have. But like, don't let that discourage you. Like I moved here with Gus, and eventually I feel like he will move away, so then it'll just be me. So it's totally doable with however many people. Hello, I'm moving over there in 2 weeks. How is West Seattle? 2 weeks? That's so exciting. West Seattle is, I mean, I've talked about West Seattle before. It's good. I mean, it's safe. I've said this before, and I don't want to offend anybody, but it's like, it's very white. Okay? Like, you don't get a lot of diversity in West Seattle, and that's the reason I don't love it. Like, you have Alki Beach over there, which is really beautiful and fun, and you have some really amazing restaurants, but like I need some culture, I need some diversity, and I need some like live music in my life. So I feel like in West Seattle I don't really get that. But it's a safe area, it's really nice, and you're by water, which is super fun. So that's how I feel about West Seattle. Oh my gosh, okay. I have a lot of questions. I was wondering how the Sounders games are there. The Sounders games are lit. Like, I've never been to one, but I have a friend who, like, goes to all of them. And they are a big, big deal. Like, people don't mess around with the Sounders games. Like, I really want to go to one that's, like, on my summer bucket list because they look like they're so much fun and they're a really good team. So, it's like, why not? Tickets aren't super expensive and it just looks like a really, really fun time. What do you think about Wallingford? Okay, so Wallingford is not technically, Wallingford is kind of attached to Fremont in a way, like they're like brothers and sisters. And Wallingford is I love Wallingford. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so fun. It has a great downtown, and I feel like Ballard and Fremont also always have like fresh fruit and fresh vegetables, like farmers markets throughout the year. I feel like for them. So I really like Wallingford, although it is somewhat expensive. Um, Okay, let me keep going. What do you think of Kirkland? Um, what do I think of Kirkland? I think Kirkland is really nice. It's very similar to Bellevue. It's very close. It's very close to Bellevue. It's a little bit further though to get to Seattle. I think Kirkland's really nice, but like West Seattle, in my humble opinion, like it's too white. It's too privileged for my likings. I don't want to offend anybody when I say that. I'm just trying to keep it like super real with you guys. People in Kirkland have a lot of money. There's not a lot of diversity, but it's safe. They have a great little downtown that's super fun and yeah, it's just really white, but I mean it's really nice. Okay. Um Yay! Be Wanderlust, you're moving here in August. That's so exciting. Can you make a video about how the public transportation works in Seattle? Never done it myself, as I'm from a small town. Yes, I've thought about making videos like this. I shouldn't say never. I took the bus when I first got here and I got extremely lost. So I've been a little scarred and scared to do that again, but I know I need to because I know that it would help so many of you guys out because I feel like a lot of you are so scared to come here and see that there's a terrible public transportation system, and I just don't think that's the case. So I am kind of in contact with some people that run excuse me, do the public transportation, so I want to just kind of collaborate with them. That way they can give me like the 411 and know all the like they know all their shit because they designed the stuff. So video to come on that very soon. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I gotta answer a couple more and then I have to get back to this because I said to myself I could only do a half hour because I feel like people don't really like watching these if they're longer than a half hour, but it is good information. I see that Linwood's rent is cheaper, but it's really far away from Seattle. Yes. So when you're looking, okay, let me go into my next thing. So, the reason I had you guys write down the zip codes or remember them is because to me and to Gus, it is such an important tool. Like if you can search on Craigslist or Hotpads with zip codes, like that's going to help you guys out immensely. So, for example, when like I was talking about earlier when Gus and I were looking, we were back in Wisconsin and we were looking for a place to live, we we would see that like Linwood and Renton, like they're so much cheaper and they're nicer and they're not that far from Seattle. But the thing is, you guys, it is such a bitch to commute from Renton or Tukwila or Linwood to Seattle. Like, you are out of the city. Like, you're not immersed in the diversity or the culture or what's going on in the city when you live in places like that. Yes, they're close to the city, but like, I feel like now that I'm living in Seattle, I just feel so much more like a part of it, and I feel like I'm part of the culture, and I'm finally starting to understand what Seattle is. So when you're in places like Linwood or Renton or Federal Way, excuse me, or Tacoma, like you're not, it doesn't feel like you're part of the city, and that sucks because Gus and I did that for a year, and if we had to do that for another year, I literally would have left because it's depressing. You want to be part of the culture, but it's such a hassle sometimes to get to the city. So I know that they're cheaper, but if you can, it's so much funner to live in Seattle and in a neighborhood because you're just part of the culture. Um, okay, let me see. I had a hair in my mouth. Okay, download City Mapper app and it will make public transportation easy. Ooh, thank you, Sterling. Okay, great advice. City Mapper makes public transportation super easy. Miss Atomic Bomb also likes that app, so verified. Would you happen to know what neighborhood would be the most diverse and comfortable for people of color slash black people? Honestly, like, I feel like if you are black, you're gonna fit right into Seattle. Like, I I love being around culture and I love being around different ethnicities and whatever, and that's why I'm in Seattle. Like, Seattle, there's a little bit of everybody. It's a big melting pot, and that's what makes it fun. So if you're black, don't go to I mean, if you want to go to West Seattle, go for it, but like there's just a lot of white people over there, and white people are I'm white, like it's fine, but like Seattle, anywhere in Seattle, you're gonna get a little bit of diversity. Capitol Hill would be great. Central District would be great. South Lake Union, um, those would probably be the best places to live because they are like so in the middle of everything. So yeah. Okay, so let me go over my top 3 ways to find housing. Um, and then let's see how much time. I have like 10 minutes left. Okay. I might have to go a little over, but that's okay. Okay, so my top 3 tips for finding housing is first the Facebook group. If you guys have been following me since day one, how many times have I talked about this stupid, amazing Facebook group? Like too many times, but like it works so good. I feel like I have people DMing me and they're like, "Thank you for showing me the Facebook group." I will like put a tag and I'll also put it in the description. It's called Seattle Housing Rooms, Apartments, and Sublets, and it has like 30,000 plus members in it, and it's great because people that post on there. First of all, almost all of them are legit, otherwise they will get removed from the page, so it's safe, which is great. But also it's people that need a lease takeover, which is really great because if you've been looking in on Craigslist or on Zillow or Hotpads or whatever, like sometimes those places ask for like a history of income, and you might not have that. You might have just saved up a lot of money and you're like, I have the money but I'm here, I don't have a history of making money in Seattle like a lot of places ask for. And with this Facebook group, it's just you're just taking over somebody's lease, so you don't necessarily have to have that. When Gus and I first moved out here, that's how we got a place. Like it was it was incredible. We FaceTimed the people that we were renting from, and we were like, "Hey, we're moving out here. It's just us. How much do we pay you guys?" And blah blah blah. It was super safe. It was super legit, and yeah, it's a great Facebook group. I think that more people need to utilize it because it's just, in my opinion, the safest way to find housing in Seattle if you don't know anybody. So okay. Going off of that, my next place to look is Hotpads. Let me just say, don't use Zillow. Zillow just, it messes with you. I feel like Zillow has all these great places and then it just never works out, and I feel like there's a ton of scams on Zillow. I've known people that have been scammed. I almost got scammed. So I don't like Zillow, but like Hotpads I feel like is super safe and you can communicate with people and it's a good place to be. The Facebook group was Seattle Housing Rooms, Apartments, and Sublets. I will make sure to link it in the description below. So if you did miss it, I will for sure link it down there. Okay, and then um, my next place that you should look for is Craigslist. And before you go like, oh my god, no, Craigslist isn't safe. Yes, it is, but you have to be really smart when you use Craigslist. So Gus and I always search with zip codes, which is huge. It makes a big difference. You can be very specific with what you want to find. You can put bedrooms, you can put price, you can put zip code. That way you know you're going to live in that specific neighborhood. But I do want to say this, okay? If you see a place and it's too good to be true, you guys, it is 187% true that it is too good to be true. So don't fall for those because there's a ton of scammers on Craigslist, okay? I've known people literally that have put money down and they never see it again. If you don't call if you don't talk to the landlord, if you don't get your keys, if you don't see the place and you put money down, you're never gonna see it. It's a scam. So make sure you're just really smart with Craigslist. If it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Never put money down on a place with no contract, or it doesn't even matter. It could be a fake contract. Like don't wire somebody money. Like, I feel like that happens all the time, and it sucks because you're desperate. Like, they're targeting the desperate people that are trying to look for places, but like, do not put money down. And I know to some it might seem like, well, duh, I'm not going to do that, but a lot of people do. Some of the best people I know have done that because they really wanted to find a place. So don't do that until you see the apartment and get a key. Okay, that's kind of all I have for housing. Um, Let me look at the questions. I have like 6 minutes, and I can answer some of these because y'all are important. Okay. Um, so much hair. Okay. And one step away from useful app for public. Okay, great. Um, would love to see more vlogs on exploring hiking trails. Me too, dude. So the thing with that is I don't at the moment feel super comfortable going by myself on hikes. Um, so I need to find a buddy because I would love to do more hiking. I love hiking and I love adventuring. Andrew Kearns is a really good person to follow. I feel like he's done so many um, vlogs around Seattle. I think he is Seattle based. He might be from Portland, but he's an amazing travel vlogger and does so many great things. But I would love to do that. Okay. Hi, Sky. Can I ask the zip code for Bellevue? I don't think I heard you say it. Yes, zip code for Bellevue is 98004. And just know that there's different parts of Bellevue. Like 98006 is still Bellevue, but it's a different neighborhood. But honestly, don't even worry about that zip code because that neighborhood's not that important. Okay. Do you recommend making a trip to Seattle a few days/weeks before I move to check out apartments or just get one purely based on pictures and apartments? Okay, so the thing is, if you can make it out here to apartment hunt, 100% I would recommend that because then you're really locked in and you're safe. You know what you're getting. Um, however, I did not do that. Gus and I literally just drove 26 hours to get here, and we were like, I hope this is a good place. So, if you have the money and you have the time, I would for sure fly out here. But if you're like, I don't know, then like honestly, just be safe, be smart about it, and make sure you're in contact with your landlord or whoever you're renting from. Just got a job in Redmond. Does Bellevue have good nightlife? I've heard mixed opinions. I'm a little afraid to commute if I lived in Seattle. Ooh, yeah. Here's the thing. If you live in Seattle and you work in Redmond, the glory of that is the commute won't be as bad as you think, okay? Because, for example, I'm like losing my voice, I'm sorry. For example, I live in Seattle, but I work in Bellevue, so I'm essentially doing the opposite of what everybody else is doing. Everybody's trying to get into the city, but I'm trying to get out of the city. And then when work is done, I'm trying to get back into the city when everybody's getting out. So I'm doing the opposite, and my commute is really not bad at all. It's like 20 minutes, where in Tukwila, Jesus fucking Christ, it was like an hour to 2 hours sometimes. So if you work in Redmond, it's not going to be as bad as you think. However, okay, the nightlife in Bellevue. I've never went out in Bellevue, but my coworkers do it all the time, and it looks like a really, really fun time. I really like the downtown Bellevue a lot. It's fun, um, but it's not like Seattle. Okay, it's just there's a limited amount of bars. They're all pretty similar, and I don't know, it's just not as fun, but it's not bad. Like if you're just looking for a chill nightlife scene, Bellevue's a great place to go. Okay, Central has great cultural history. Yes, it does. I have a husky, and I have noticed a lot of breed restrictions. Which husky seems to be on any suggestions on this? Which husky? Oh, sure. You're talking about like when you find a place and there's restrictions on pets. Yeah, there is a lot of places that are like that, but if you have a pet, there's not really a workaround. Like you have to just find a place that allows that breed. I know that's shitty, but like now that I have a cat, I'm much more aware of that just because there's a lot of places that don't allow cats too, and there are places that allow dogs. Like I'm looking at the house right across from me, and like that place they allow dogs, and there's a lot out there. It just you're gonna have to probably look a little harder than the average Joe. Huskies are adorable though, and they should be allowed everywhere. Okay, what was the Facebook group? Okay, I answered that. Snow Lake, good stuff. Bye, Sterling! What's your favorite bar in Capitol Hill? Thank you. Okay, I don't have a favorite bar, but I do really enjoy Capital Cider. I'm like, okay, right now I love Capital Cider, which is stupid because it's not the best bar, but it's really fun. Um, they just have really good cider, and they also have really warm olives, which are really yummy. So, big fan. Okay, I'm debating about taking my car. Is there enough jobs within Central Seattle to allow me to job search and to eh, and allow me to job search and get to work once I find a job, planning to sell my car? Oh yeah. I think once you get here, if you don't have a job and you move here, like you will find a job. Like I feel like the people I know that live in the city and work in the city, none of them have cars because people lived everywhere. So that's actually going to be a different video. I'm posting that closer to the end of the month on if you should bring your car to Seattle because it is such a hot topic and it's so important. Um, but yeah, okay guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope that this was beneficial. Let me know if you guys have any more questions. I can always, like, if you follow me on Instagram, I feel like I'm pretty good at getting back to you guys because I know that it's so scary to move out here, especially if it's a new place to you. So don't be afraid to message me. So I feel like I've been getting a lot more DMs lately, so it's taking me a little bit longer to get back to everybody, but please be patient. I'm sorry that it is. Um, but if you have more questions, definitely DM me. I feel like we're kind of becoming like a family, and I appreciate you guys so much because you have made my journey over here so much better, and I'm very thankful for you guys. So, okay, you guys, that wraps it up. Make sure to check the description box for all the info. I'm gonna actually type all of this up, so if you did miss anything, it should be all down there within a day or two. Give me a second or time to do that, but I will also list the links that I talked about. And yeah, that's kind of all I have. Make sure you thumbs this video up if you like lives. I never know if you guys like lives, so the more thumbs up, the more better. The more I know that I should do these, because right now I am trying to schedule a live every single Wednesday this month. So if you guys are into these, let me know topics, or let me know if you just hate these and I'll stop doing them. But yeah, okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful evening, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Okay, let me see if I can exit this. Bye!